Okay, so median is defined rigidly. This means the median has definite and certain value. So now going to very often mode can be calculated merely by the inspection. So by identifying Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to learner. Here this is Tripona, hope all of you are doing good. We had discussed in my previous session the property of the arithmetic mean, the definition of median and its calculation process in both series, that is continuous and the discrete series. So if you have missed my previous session, so please go and check my description box and my first comment where the previous session link is already shared. So let's start the session learner and go to my next slide where we can see what we will study for today's session. So the first one is the graphical representation of the determination of median. The second concept, that is the merit and demerits of median, and third one is concept of mode and its calculation process. So let's begin the session and move on the main slide. So learner, here we can see the graphical method of median. So we have already told median can also be calculated by two ways. The first one is the algebraic and the second one is the graphical method. And in my previous session we have already explained the algebraic one. So now we will discuss the graphical representation of median only. So median can be determined graphically with the help of the ogive, and which is known as cumulative frequency curve. So median is determined by less than ogive and more than ogive curves, and alternatively median is determined by drawing two ogive curves simultaneously. After drawing two ogive curves, we have to draw a perpendicular line on the x-axis from the intersecting point, and which this point is basically indicates a value of median. I think it will be more clear when we are using an graphical representation. So now move on the next slide. So here we can see there are two ogive curves, more than and less than ogive curves. The red color curves indicates the less than ogive curves, and yellow color curves indicates more than ogive curves. When more than and less than ogive curves are intersected at this point, which is E, so we have to draw a perpendicular line from the intersecting point on the x-axis, and the point at which this perpendicular meets the x-axis gives the value of the median. So we can see median is very much related to the calculation process of the median. Graphical calculation process of the median is very much related to the ogive or cumulative frequency curves, and that is proved. So now going to the next slide. So here we can see some merits and demerits of median. So learner, it's a time for merit one. So the first one is the certainty. Okay, so median is defined rigidly. This means the median has definite and certain value. So now going to the second one, that is the simplicity. So median has the advantage of the simplicity, and it is very easy to calculate and understand. Okay. And now going to the third one, it is unaffected by the extreme values. So median is the positional average, and it is not the influenced by the extreme values. Okay, so now going to the fourth one, it is calculated when the data is incomplete. Okay, so median calculation of median is possible even if data is incomplete. Clear? Now going to the third one, that is the graphical representations. The value of median can be determined by the graphical method, and we have just told that thing. So now going to the last merit of median, that is, it is appropriate for the qualitative data. So median is the most appropriate average in the case of qualitative data, where the data are not capable of the quantitative measurements. For example, it is not possible to measure the intelligence quantitatively. So, however, it is possible to locate an individual having average intelligence by arraying a group of a person in ascending or descending order of intelligence. Clear? So, now going to the some demerits. So, move on the next slide. So learner, here we can see some demerits of median. So first one is it is not based on the all observation. Okay. So because median is a positional average. Now going to the second one. So it's lack of representative character. So median may not be a representative measure in many cases because it is not a good representative of data if the number of items is small and when there are a wide variations between the values of different items. So now going to the third one, effect of sampling fluctuations. So value of median is very much affected by the fluctuations of sampling because it has no sampling stability. And now going to the last one, that is a lack of algebraic treatment. Obviously median is not capable of any algebraic treatment like arithmetic mean. Okay, so now going to the next slide. So here we can see the another new concept of mode. So what do you mean by a mode, learner? So mode of a set of observations is that value which occurs the greatest number of times, that means with the greatest frequency. Okay, and according to the Croxton and Cowden, the mode of a distribution is the value around which the items tend to be most heavily concentrated as most typical of a series of values. So that means it is the value. So mode is the value around which the items are more heavily concentrated. So in a simple sentence, mode is the most common value. Clear? I think this is clear. So now move on the next slide. So here we can see the calculation process of mode in individual series, and we can see there are two methods of calculating mode. So the first one is the inspection and the second one is the mode is calculated by the frequency series. So inspection method. So what do you mean by the inspection method? So in a discrete series, very often mode can be calculated merely by the inspection. So by identifying the value of the variable having the highest frequency. Okay, so the value corresponding to the highest frequency would be the value of mode, would be the modal value. I think this is clear. So now we are going to the next slide. So here this is an example. So there is a series and we can see the 5 occurs the maximum number of times. There is a 4 times. So the value 5 have highest frequency, highest number of times. So that's why the value of mode is 5. I think this is clear. Okay. So learner, we are done for the today's session. We have discussed today graphical calculation process of median, merits and demerits of median, and most important concept, that is mode. I hope it will be a very helpful session to everyone. So I will come again with an exciting session. Till then, stay tuned and please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Press the bell button for getting new notification from my side. Happy learning. Thank you.